Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is BMT coming at you again. Please, if you're in the chat, put one if you can hear me. But I have a lot of stuff I'm doing right now. Uh, but I got this message earlier. It's about something that I was talking about close to home. Um, but I wanted to talk about this, and it was over a matter that greatly concerns me. It was said towards me. It was said towards me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, or a few, sent me a message or two about me crying about my daughter's situation. I'm saying I was being told that I was soft. That wasn't masculine. Wasn't manly. That wasn't something that they should see that black men should not do. So I sat and thought about it, but I didn't have to respond. I didn't have to respond, but I will. Because this is very telling about the energy and the issues with men, and why a lot of men cannot connect towards the family today. They can't connect with their women or have a wholesome dialogue with their children. I'm always hearing that men need to be in the home, that a man should have access to his child, that nobody is empathetic or sympathetic to that of the black man or any man in general. Right? These are the words that is uttered to me about, men. So let me get this straight. So here I am, a man, empathetic about my child. I feel some type of way because my child, my child has a situation that I want addressed. What's going on, Verbal? I'm hearing all these situations and scenarios of, black men, what I'm saying, and dealing with kids. So, what's the deal with me as a man shedding tears for my child? I want to know. I want to know what's the issue. I want to know what was the cardinal sin of me as a man literally feeling a certain type of way because my child was going through something and I felt utterly helpless. See, I know this is not popular. I know this is not the buzz or all the rage. I know this is not the biggest talking point because a man crying or showing feelings, that's looked at as weak. almost to the point where it's looked at as gay. And I'm told this time and time again. I'm expressed to this, and I'm always brought about this. Hang on, let me fix this. So we're at a situation because see, I know this is not the most popular talk, but see, I'm starting to understand why most men aren't getting their children. I'm starting to understand why a lot of y'all dudes, y'all having these mental breakdowns. I mean I don't understand. Like we're hearing, well, men shouldn't cry, men should not show emotion. Like last time I checked, dude, I'm a human. I didn't stop breathing. I didn't stop feeling a certain type of way. I didn't die, nothing like that. And some people will take it as well. It just sounds like you complaining. Sound like you being pretty soft. So I'm soft because I have a feeling of empathy and love for my child. Because I feel utter helplessness because I don't know how to fix the situation. I can't fix it with violence. I can't attack it with a gun. I'm not going to beat it. But it's a big issue when that of a man replies to another man that because I cry openly for my daughter or a child, that's looked at as soft, weak, suspect. And you got to ask the question, so what empathy do you want? What empathy do you want, black man? Who would want a father? And see, I hear these stories of, you know, I like my dad, he never showed emotion. So why are you here on YouTube complaining about the men or the women? Why are you on here complaining about your certain situation? Why are you alone? Where's your man or your woman? Where's your spouse at? I hear all these talking points about what and how people should be. This is how I know they beat y'all into a submissive point to where you stop feeling like a person. I'm serious. This is how I know they beat the humanity out of a good bit of y'all. And I'm not talking about no slavery. I'm just talking about the world in general, man. That we would shame a man or want to bring or say that's a weak substance because a man has empathetic feeling for his child. But y'all say that why can't the women speak on our plight? I'm just saying, like, listen, I will never, ever be ashamed of having love or empathy for my children ever. What kind of man would not have no type of love or affection towards loving his child openly? I want y'all to think about that. Good morning. Good morning, Kay. That doesn't make you look weak, brothers. Let me tell you right now. That does not make you look weak or less of a man because you show love and affection for your child. No, no, no. See, that's the thing about it, Kay. Me feeling some type of way about a situation going on with my child and crying about it, that was the cardinal sin. That was the cardinal sin. As bad as it is, I've seen men break down in the courtroom, break down sleeping on the street. I've seen men break down sleeping on them doggone cots in the homeless shelter. Something about men are supposed to just be sentinels of pain and torture and have no type of feeling whatsoever. What kind of world is that? What kind of inhuman person do you want or take me to want to be? How many of y'all have grown up and never seen your parent show any type of love or affection for you? And no, okay, that is true. That is true. What woman would want a man around her child that can't show no empathy or love or affect? Y'all don't see, y'all do y'all not know how badly that hurts or destroys a child? You know how many young children I've spoken to a young men. I've never heard my dad tell me he loves me. I've never heard my father say that, hey, dad, do you love me? Do you care about me? Do you have any type of affection for me? But we have this makeup of a belief. This is how you know the empathy and the lack of humanity is slowly draining out. Whatever's being told to y'all by this societal issue is really, 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 really starting to fuck y'all up. I'm trying to let y'all know it's really fucking y'all up, man. This is why I don't want no part. This is why when I look at social media and I look at a lot of these young men trying to find their way, when I see a lot of these young girls who don't know what a man with any type of real emotion or love or affection, because they never seen it come out of their father or their mother's out of their father's mouth. They never seen their mother actually be loved by a man. I have no problem showing love and affection and empathy publicly. I feel like that's healthy. But what I do hear is that you should learn how to keep your mouth shut and not talk like that. You should learn how to be a man. Understand this. Like, I'm trying to let y'all know, man. It's not going to get any easier, man. Your child doesn't think their parent is weak because their father says, "I love you." I want you men to understand you are not weak for hugging your son in public. That doesn't make him gay. That doesn't make him soft. That doesn't make him a coward. That doesn't make him a bitch. That means you love your child. But y'all got this weird dysfunctional mindset that because you show any type of empathy or emotion to your child, that makes you weak. No, I got you, Kay. I got you. But I definitely see that there's a lot of people in this space that really do not understand parenting. I'm not afraid to hug and kiss my son. That doesn't make him weak. That doesn't make him gay. That doesn't make him soft. That doesn't make him some little punk. That means I love my child. What kind of human being or father would I be if I did not show that type of empathy toward my child? But then I will see these same individuals run out there in the streets to look for love from somebody else, but not show that same type of energy towards their own seed. I see these stories. I see these young women and these men. I just want somebody out there that loves me. We live in a society today that will tell you they can be openly public about what they say and do with them themselves. And I mean, what you do is what you do. That's on you. That's on you. I ain't telling nobody how to live their life. I'm not telling nobody how to parent. I'm not telling nobody how to talk the gospel or anything like that. But one thing don't tell me how to do. Don't tell me how I need to parent my child when you doggone don't have no type of innate emotion towards your kid. I find that so infuriating that people are trying to disgustingly tell or disparage other people that they literally shouldn't show no type of empathy or affection. Y'all like talking about what hoes and Johns and all this kind of other talking points. But woe is me because I shared tears, but I shed some tears for my child. There's a problem with that. There's something seriously wrong with this man. Why would he do something like that openly? But I see y'all online every day complaining about women, complaining about men, complaining about the way this country is. Y'all can't even take somebody telling y'all some noise or some words because you can't handle somebody like that. But see, if you did probably have somebody that actually told you that, hey, I love you, regardless of how the situation may be, y'all probably wouldn't be so jacked up. I'm just being honest. Let's be for real. Does it bother y'all that because I'm a man and I'm comfortable with my emotions that I know how to tell my child that, hey, I love you? Oh, I don't know if you should do that, man. You don't even know if that kid is yours. That's how jacked up some of y'all are. That's how I know this space is not for me. Listen, y'all, unsubscribe, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Don't bother me. Don't tell me about any of y'all doggone narratives or anything. Nothing. I would rather shut down this channel and doggone not know any of y'all before I ever be ashamed of my child for a bunch of strangers and abuse. You think I care about this? Y'all ain't my family. Y'all not going to shed no tears for me when I'm sick. Y'all not going to take y'all hand and push it through my hair and say, I love you. Some of y'all have never had that before. Some of y'all never had it where somebody says, I don't have no money, but I want to just tell you I love you. And I say, you know, that's good enough. I hear the talking points. You know what? Everything a man does, he don't get no money for it. You know, I used to think like that. I used to. I used to actually think like that. I actually used to believe in that stupid talking point that because I'm a man and that I should get something, I should be rewarded by my children for bringing them into this world. That's the ideology that is held by some of these people. That y'all should worship me. I never told my kids that you should worship me and fall subjects to me. I brought you here. I would feed my children and any child in my home. Not because I want praise, not because I want some doggone herald of tales or anything, because I actually give a fuck. And I know that's awkward that there's actually men out here that actually care, that actually have a sense of duty as a man. See, this is why I know this is why I know I know I'm going out. I know I'm going out. I know it now. I know. The era of being a man, standing in your masculinity, that era is soon going to close. And I hope the best of luck and faith to a lot of you. You come in. I wish the best to a lot of women and children. This is why I believe masculinity is dying. There was no shame in another man telling another man, I love you, brother. There was no shame in it. A man doesn't have to say, because I tell another man, I love you, oh, no homo. Why would I need to say that? So you said I can't tell another man, hey, bro, I love you. I appreciate you. I want nothing but the best of blessings for you. I want to see you win. Huh? He must be gay. He must be got something going on with him. He must be suspect. Or maybe I actually do love that man. Maybe I want nothing but the best for him. Maybe I actually just want to see him make it or win. This is why I know. This is why I know we're in some bullshit ass Twilight Zone. Every time I try to wake up from this hellhole and it's just another piece of crap wave just slaps me in my face. There used to be an honor code or a camaraderie. Where two men can literally say, yo, bro, I rock with you. I have your back. I got a beer. It's not much and a smoke, but here you go, man. We'll break it and we'll share it even. Oh, thanks, brother. I love you for that. I got you. If it means I gotta die a peasant, but be a man, I'll take that. I will gladly take that. But whatever kingdom of bullshit y'all are building, it ain't gonna last very long. That's why you're not winning. That's why y'all not getting any respect. That's why nobody won't follow none of y'all. I'm very attuned to my nature. I'm very adept to who I am. I am very assured of myself. I can sit in a room full of women and still be a man. I hear what a lot of people are saying. I just don't entertain. I just don't. Y'all telling me now men cannot know? Y'all telling me a man telling his child, I love you, shedding tears for their child. That's weakness. No, y'all are weak. Y'all are weak. Any man that is weak because he's afraid to actually just stand on his own. I'm not afraid to be alone. I sit very well by myself. Thank you. I'm not afraid to love on my woman. I'm not afraid to be a family man. Those used to be honorable things. Now they're looked at in certain spaces or certain talking points. That's weak. That's soft. That's beta. That's cleanup. Listen to the terms coming out of y'all fucking mouth. But y'all want me to have y'all sit in my kingdom? Sit around my sons, my daughters, my kingdom? The same thing that the world has been fighting for since the dawn of time. Y'all are telling me that me as a man, I should be ashamed of that. That I should tread lightly. No, I tell y'all with a declaration of war, you should tread lightly around me. Don't ever in y'all fucking life ever tell me, BMT, the fuck not to ever shed tears for my child. Don't ever do that. I'll gladly spill blood for mine and any one of those that is with mine. We're not the same. We don't eat the same. We don't hunt the same. We don't fight the same. I don't play like y'all. I don't play this little tattletale boy shit. I'm a man. Play with y'all fucking friends. This is why there's a difference in power. There's a great difference when it comes to alliances between men and boys. And I'm gonna be real. I don't see a lot of men around. That's the reason why I'm seeing more women out there on the battlefield than I see the fucking men. I'm just seeing a bunch of old men and I'm just seeing a bunch of women. But I'm starting to see a lot of boys wish and make believe and pretend to be fucking men. Why? Because you squirted out a baby? Congratulations. A dog can do that. But a man is not afraid to step out on what he believes in. A man is not afraid to love. A man is not afraid to dream. A man is not afraid to tell his child or his woman or his family, I love you and I'll die for you. A man is not afraid to do that. Nor should a man ever be ashamed of doing that. Don't ever come to me about this bullshit. This is why I said there's a very, like I said, there's a very big distinction in power. Y'all keep asking what happened to the family model. Like this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't even bother anymore. Y'all wonder why y'all sons are so fucked up? Y'all wonder why the women don't want to talk to you? Don't acknowledge you or accept you? I'm just wondering, man. Y'all hoping for a savior. Save your own fucking self. I ain't never, listen, I don't look for no savior. I've been here all alone. I've been on my stoop. This is why I'm not claiming anything anymore. This is why I just say I'm just BMT. I had a man ask me, BMT, you had a bunch of women on your panel. So fucking what? Who cares? Yeah, man, but it's supposed to be, what about men? So now me as a man, I'm not supposed to have any type of conversation with women. What about us? What about you? Huh? What about you? What do you want me to do? You want me to be your daddy? You want me to hug and kiss y'all? You want me to tell y'all that everything's gonna be okay? I'll be lying to y'all. I'm just being honest. I mean, I'm just being honest. Listen, man. A lot of y'all want answers, man. A lot of y'all want answers. A lot of y'all want acceptance. You want somebody to tell you that everything's gonna be okay, or that you as a man, you're gonna get respect. I know this ain't the most popular talk. I'm just being honest, man. Y'all talk about, listen, man. You want to know? Listen, man. Some of y'all need to sit down. Some of y'all just need to sit down and finally attune yourself to reality of what you are or becoming? Are you truly, truly pleased at the position that you're in right now? Is this truly how you want to be respected in society? I always hear about the herald of being a man and doing X, Y, and Z and, conquering all this stuff. But see, I never hear the fine details of the maintenance of what it takes. Everybody wants to be the king. I hear that all the time. Everybody wants to be a king, but nobody truly understands what that means. A king is a self-serving ideal. I live for my people. If my people were to die, I die. It's a lot of sacrifice. A lot of days you will go hungry. A lot of days your people will not always agree with you. I sit down. I've had times where I sit down and sometimes I question myself. Hang on, let me fix that for you. Let me fix that for you, Kay. I've had plenty of times, man. I gotta be real with y'all. I really do. Some of my best contributors are not men. They're actually women. So I'm trying to understand, especially with the direction that we're going right now. What I did was so bad. What I did was so bad. Let me know. Let me know. If I'm wrong, I will gladly answer. If me being emotional, I hardly get on here and bitch about women. I don't complain about who I am. I just tell y'all it is for what it is. Oh, oh, you shame men. Do I? Do I really shame men? Or I talk to you like a man? I treat you like men. I read a quote, and the quote said, "Respect is not owned; it's rented." It's something that you have to fight and always have to work for every day. So I work hard every day for the respect of everyone in the chat, and I show you what I have in respect. I give y'all that respect, man. I'm gonna be real. Let me fix it. Let me tell y'all something. This is my 2021 prediction. The men are going to be afraid to fight when the time comes. The older ones will fight. The family man will fight. The old and the family man will fight. And the woman will fight. But that singular man who doesn't have a family, who doesn't have no connection to the people, he's not going to fight. He's only going to ask for his handout. He's going to reach out his hand like a beggar, hoping that whatever master will feed him like a dog. And I know this. My son asked me a question. He said, "Dad, why do you work so hard? Why do you work so hard?" And I said, "I only have so much time left. I only have so much time left, son. The men are afraid to fight." He said, "Well, Dad, I mean, you can just ask them." I said, "They're not going to fight because they don't have nothing to believe in. They don't have nothing to believe in. See, you got to innately have something. See, there's a reason why when somebody puts down the war banner, it is supposed to stir up a fire in your belly to make you want to step up. There's nothing, there's no war banner for them. There's no ambition for them. The world has already proven that. It's a cold day when I see a woman more so ready to grab a sword than a fucking man. But then the man will say, "I want the woman to come back home." Then the woman will say, "Well, fuck you." Because there is no home to go back to. There's only the battlefield. We can talk about home if we take the battlefield, but guess what? I got the old men out here trying to be in the battlefield. You're not trying to be in the battlefield. You're trying to worry about my pussy, but I'm out here fighting. Either bring your ass out here to fight or just stay home and just be there. And so when we watch what's going on, this is why you're seeing the old men and the women get to make the rules of the fucking land, not the men. The men are playing little boy games and little tribal wars at home in the village. The women and the older men are going out there fighting and taking all the resources. Now, the tribal men who are building families, guess what? We don't give a fuck for what's going on with the younger men anymore. I just don't. I just don't. I'm sorry. Y'all, I want y'all to hear this from my fucking mouth right here, 2021. I don't give a shit about these younger men who are more so worried about pussy and doggone money. You are the weak men. I am sorry. You're weak. That means whatever master throws out any type of scrap or bone, you will jump and holler for it. And we see that going on today. That's why I can't be bought. That's why I have nothing. This is why I have nothing to lose. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of what's going to happen for me. Y'all can chase the views. Y'all can chase the likes. Talking about social media and shit. Y'all don't even control social media anymore. It's so heavily censored and shit. But it is what it is, man. I get it. I'm not talking about what y'all like. I'm not talking about all the raise and crave. You want to know? Let me tell you right now. You want to know why a lot of the women aren't talking to a lot of the men? You know why a lot of the children aren't following the men? Because you don't have that feeling. You don't have that fire. So they're not going to follow you anymore. But see, why would they follow that woman? Because she now has the fire to go out there. And now we're not going to... See, I understand. Yeah. You got those women out there that are doing that. But who's out there? I told you. Look who's making the new rules. Look who's making the laws. It's the women, the old men. And both of them are fighting for who gets the dominance of the voice. He who controls the voice can make the battle cry. And that's what we go by. I'm not saying I don't have no love for the brothers, for the brotherhood. But the brotherhood are a frail shell of what they used to be. If they're a frail shell of what they used to be, the best thing I could offer you is an honorable death. This is why you won't have any claim over the home. This is why. There's a lot of women. They don't trust you. Because you don't have nothing that you believe in. You don't. Well, what about the court system? Who gives a damn about the court system? The system was never built ever to help anybody. It was never built to help anybody. I fight that beast every fucking day I wake up. Every day. I'm over 2 households. I would gladly rather give the other household off to a honorable man that will love her and her children. There ain't nobody coming. So till then, I'll have to run 2 households. We're joined here by Miss Verbal. I'm gonna go grab some water. Miss Verbal, you can hold down while I go get some water.
Sure. How are you? Yeah, go get some water.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I can't stay long. I have to pick I have a sadly a memorial service that I have to on Zoom that I have to attend, and also take my daughter somewhere. But I'm just, just here listening to this brother speak, and you know, he sounds so passionate, and really everything that he's saying, I don't I don't hear the, there are no lies detected. Um, and this is the thing. I actually had a question to ask BMT, but I'll wait till he comes back. So I'm just gonna talk to everyone who's listening. You know, the thing is that here's the truth. The women are waiting. The women are waiting. And you hear the women upset, complaining, pushing back because the women are frustrated, because the waiting is continual, like where are the real men stepping up? And that's why I put in the comments that, you know, I don't have a community wall yet because I guess I don't have enough subscribers or what have you. But I would have loved to be able to share this stream, because I think that when we do hear men speak the way that BMT speaks, it is a breath of fresh air from for women, because we hear quite the opposite constantly on this platform and in social media in general. And we kind of focus on those men and the bullshit they spew, um, the extreme lack of masculinity. We focus on that because they're the loudest. And as we all know, the squeaky wheel is the one that's going to get the oil. And so and I know that there are more men than BNT who feel this way, and their voices get drowned out. So I think that when we do come across men, hi everybody, hi misunderstood. When we do come across men like BNT, that one of the things that we women can do is maybe highlight these types of men, share their streams, kind of point them out so that the men can know that we do see them, that we do see the ones that are speaking. It's just that their voices are drowned out by the loudest, the ones who are, talking all this yang in the wackosphere and all of that stuff. The lack of masculinity is extremely depressing. Um, and for me, it's not normal because I didn't grow up with men who behave the way that I see men or so called men behave these days. I actually fear for my daughters. One who's of dating age, the other one who is not dating yet, and the type of men that they are going to have to weed through and deal with, and literally, like, it seems that finding men who understand their role and place as men and who enjoy and embrace manhood and masculinity is becoming far and few between. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And so when we hear how many women are single and this, that, and the third, well, one of the main reasons that women are single is not because there's something wrong with them, but it's because they aren't finding the type of men that are marriageable. I mean, these men these days, they don't even want to get married. They want to pump and dump you. And women are just waking up to that and don't want to deal with that kind of thing. Women don't want to take crumbs. We are waiting on the men to be the men. And I promise you, we will get in line. But we can't get in line behind non-leaders. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So I see your back, DMT. I wanted to ask you: is this and I mean, you don't have to say any names or anything, but does this conversation that you're having today come from something that happened yesterday? I think you were live yesterday, and I kind of peeked in, but I was on somebody else's panel yesterday.
Mhm.
So is this something recent that you heard that disturbed you?
You know, well, it was mainly. I definitely know I got the message today. I got it along today where a situation going on with my daughter, and she's dealing with something right now, and I felt a certain type of way about it, and and I cried, and I cried,
Mhm.
and and when I did, um some I guess a brother hit me up. I mean I've been getting a few messages. One was about the female panel. I had an all female panel. I encourage a lot of women. I will be doing another all female panel. I told you ladies, please contact me. I will be doing more all female panels also, to where I think the
Mhm.
last one was about child rights of contraceptives, birth control, and
Yeah,
femininity.
I didn't use. I thought I was waiting because remember the last time I told you I wouldn't mind being a part of that panel, and you said you're going to email me. I put my email in the back chat.
Okay. That was on me. That's on me. But I will definitely have you for the next one, Miss Verbal. It don't. It
Okay.
will be. It will. I will definitely begin that. I got to get Kay's email. Um, but definitely that was my fault. Um, this one right here. I didn't know how it was gonna go. I think that last talk that was about I think 2 point something. Like they actually got a lot of support out of that one. I think that was 4.3 views, 4.3.
Oh wow, that's good.
So there was a lot of people that came out. There was no thing. Um, the men had no sway. That was just straight the women talking about how they felt about family,
Mhm.
children, and rearing and everything. And I thought that was very good. Um,
Mhm.
and the men were supportive to listen. And they just wanted to, and they got to, and they also were donating to come up to have to ask questions of the women. Nobody was called out of their
Mhm.
name or anything like that. But one of the main issues was for the fact that um I cried because of a situation happening with my daughter,
Mhm.
and I don't regret doing that. I know somebody.
You cried on live, or you just told people you cried.
No, I know I cried on live. I was crying on live.
Oh, okay.
I was crying on live, and,
Mhm.
and I guess that's not something people normally see on live. A man cry,
Mhm.
especially when it comes to his child,
Mhm.
and I guess that the response I got from a message, and I thought it was just one message, but it was another message after that, and it was about like I rock with you or I fuck with you BMT, but you gotta toughen up. That looks kind of weak. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm.
about something going on, and I didn't. I started getting angry as I read the fucking message
Mhm.
because no one to tell you how you should feel about your child. You understand? Like
Absolutely.
like that to me, I feel like there are certain don't do's that you should tell a parent on how they should feel. I could never tell you something would happen to your daughter or your family how you should feel.
Mhm.
And I would expect if we had a child and something that happened, you'd be like, fool, are you not going to shed a tear for your child?
Mhm.
Are you ain't going to feel no type of humanity for what's going on with her? So it blows my mind because I'm like, okay, I'm hearing the talking points of, especially in these spaces, that why aren't the women speaking up for the men? Why doesn't anybody feel bad for the man's plight? But I'm like, so hold up. So now here I'm showing emotion, or I'm not complaining. I'm just here showing emotion for my child. That's the sign of weakness. That's the
That's
sign of weakness.
weird. That's weird. That's very weird. And I mean, I'm going to take a stab in the dark here. I'm sure you didn't get bad messages from women
No, no, no,
about that.
no, I didn't.
Yeah, oh, it was just a stab in the dark.
No, I didn't get no I didn't get no bad messages from the women. And I mean, hey, for whatever y'all may say, like BMT. You see, This is why I don't feel no type of way anymore about this space no more because I don't understand the vitriol that we talk about men being in a home, and here you're saying don't. This is why y'all start. I'm starting to understand why the judge doesn't give y'all kids. I'm really starting to put. I'm really starting to piece together why the judge said just give the child straight to the mom.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to
Yeah.
understand that now. I know y'all gonna say that's pretty low for me to say, but nah, man, I'm really starting to get that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if
And
I'm
this is what I
go ahead, Miss Verbal.
no, I was just gonna say, and this is what I find. I've seen this happen to several men who started out, and I'm not sure that you did start out this way because I'm just really becoming familiar with your content, but I've heard of quite a few men who were trying to talk to the men, trying to understand the men's plight, trying to, rub their backs through it and all of that. Um, and then they just, after a while, they get frustrated because it's just a constant pity party. Oh me, oh my, I'm the victim. And I've heard these men even get mad when other men try to move them past the victimhood stage. Like, okay, now what? What are your plans now? They don't want to hear about plans. They don't want to hear about moving forward. They don't want to hear about how to fix it. They don't want to hear about any self improvement. They just want to whine and complain. And that gets tiring to certain types of men who do have integrity, who want to see the betterment, truly want to see the betterment of other men, do not want to just sit around with them and have a circle jerk, or a pity party. And they get tired and they get frustrated. And so we often will start to lose men like you in this space, these types of voices that we do absolutely need because you have other things to do, you have better things to do, and men are very goal oriented. So if you're starting to see that you are not going to be able to hit your goal, then men will just say, okay, well, that's just not one I can win. I'm gonna go ahead and take a detour and have another goal, and I'm gonna hit that target. And so that's pretty sad because then the rest of us are left still hearing this cesspool over here of men who just don't want it. They just don't want to be men. And that was another question that I was going to ask you. I'm not a man, don't know what it's like to be one. What is so difficult and hard about being a man that we're seeing so many men shying away from it?
Would you say that? Say that one more time. I didn't get to hear everything.
I was saying that what is it, because I am not a man, so I'm asking you as a man, what do you think as a man is so difficult, so tragically painful and hard about being a man that we're seeing so many men shirking their manhood or running away from it?
It's.
What's so hard about it?
I think the thing about it is this. It's the self-sacrificing that's the part that kind of irritates and pisses off a lot of the up and coming or men. It's a you gotta understand it's a self-sacrificing type of thing that I hear. Well, the man should get thanks, the man should get praise, the man should get this, the man should get respected. See, if we sit at the table, they say the question is, well, who eats first? Should always be the
Mm-hmm.
man. The man should eat first. I would say, well, my kids will eat first. I said,
Yeah.
my kids will eat first. No, BMT, you as a man, I said, don't get me wrong. I'm listening to what y'all saying, but You know, and I get y'all talking about some type of stuff, but my kids eat first. I've always maybe that's just how I always been. You know, it's just that I'm the type of person
Did
where
you eat first when you were a child?
yeah, the kids
Yeah,
all
exactly. Me too.
the kids always ate first.
Yeah.
And I mean,
The,
I've had plates brought to me when I've been at gatherings and different stuff like that. I've never hesitated to grab two babies or a baby and put it on my lap, and they just pick off of my plate. And I
mhm.
had one woman say like, "Oh, I can get you another plate, okay, too," and I give them that too. Like
Yeah.
that's the see, that's the stewardship of when y'all talk about being a king. You can't be a king if your people aren't thriving. What kind of king is
Exactly.
that? I can't be a king
Exactly.
if if I'm seeing Verbo, she's walking around and she ain't got no shoes, or she don't got. What do you need? Well, I got get. I'm low on gas. Okay. Well, I get it. Okay, I got extra $50. I need to go fill up her tank. She needs that. To
Mhm.
get, she needs that to get to work. Your people have to. But see, there's a self-sacrificing type of ideal that a lot of people look down on, man. There's a self.
Yeah.
So I get it. A lot of people ain't built for. See, that's what I said. A lot of people say they want the home. They say they want the family. They say they want that respect. But see, you don't understand what it takes to really be a leader, or what it means to actually be in that position. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, like I move a lot different than how a lot of y'all think. I don't
mhm.
mind my people flourishing more than me. I'm just that type of
Mhm.
person. So when it comes to these things of talking about building or growing or having these types of honor code, why this is why there's a lot of disdainment, or they look at a lot of the men who do this type of thing as simps, weak, beta, bitch made, whatever talking points. And so when they look at that and they say, well, those men are simps towards their women, or they're weak.
Mhm.
Wait, where's the weakness? Where was the weakness?
Mhm.
Because I'm more fundamentally sound, that I don't mind sitting there and listening. Not to say I
Mhm.
don't want to, but I don't mind. Listen, man, I don't feel no type of way that if a woman has words or she starts to react in the house. Listen, brothers, a woman is naturally going to have emotion. Well, my woman should be in the house and she should shut up. She shouldn't be talking. Then why you have a family? Why do you have a
Mhm.
family? I don't mind doggone a woman giving her grievances. I'm gonna be for real with y'all. Y'all gonna not gonna like this. Predominantly, majority of the decision making in the household, my old lady does that.
Mhm.
Curtains, that's her.
Mhm.
Kids getting dressed, that's her.
Mhm.
Dressing up and all that stuff, she be doing all that stuff. She does all that technical stuff. I bring the money. I bring it to the house. She takes care of all the stuff. She maintains and all that stuff. I get my role. Now some people say, "Well,
Mhm.
damn, that makes you bitch made." Really,
Mm.
really. Maybe y'all don't understand how the roles of the household work.
Right.
There's a reason why Big Mama ran the house while Daddy he's off in his own little world.
Mhm.
So I don't mind. Like I said, I don't feel no type of way about having a discussion with men and women, but I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I'm starting to understand why the women are not more so running the home than the men. Granted, I mean the women, the men, they're in the home, but some of them don't know how to run a home.
Exactly.
And I and I'm
Exactly true.
and I'm talking to a lot of dudes who literally are like, "Yo, like my dad was never a dad. He was just there.
Mhm.
I got a man in my house, but he's not my husband, or he's not my man. He's just my roommate."
Mhm.
So like I said, we having these conversations and we're seeing the breakdown. I'm gonna be for real. I couldn't without a sound mind. I couldn't without a sound mind tell Miss Verbal, hey, somewhere in this space there's a real man. I couldn't tell her that. I would be sending her to her own demise.
Oh God.
I would be sending her to her own demise.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty sad because and the men think that the women like me and other women like me who will, just say what it is, they don't like it. They think that you're a man hater, but it's absolutely the opposite. And that's the part they don't get. It's kind of like a tough love situation. And like I was saying, when you had gone to get water, like the women are waiting and the women are frustrated because all we're doing is waiting, and it's just not enough leaders, um, men who understand their role, who want to be leaders. And, if I'm going to be the leader in my relationship, or my marriage or what have you, if I'm going to be the leader and I have to, you know, put on the pants and wear them and lead my man around by the nose, like I just might as well just be single and just lead my life without the extra burden of somebody else to be responsible for. So a lot of women are absolutely choosing to be single, not necessarily because that's the ideal, but because they would rather do that than to be miserable in a relationship that does not fulfill them, and in a relationship that they still have to feel masculine in, or have to feel like they don't have any any support. They don't have a man to I want to say, for lack of a better term, look up to, someone who they can trust, you know, someone who's going to take care of them. Um, so women are just saying, forget it then. Just forget it. Because to do the other thing is just uncivilized. So it's pretty sad. It's pretty depressing. For me, I'm like, I'm over it. But I do have young daughters, so it's a concern for me, the men that they're going to meet and the things that they're going to go through. So I'm doing my very best to teach them about what to look out for, um, help them to develop their standards, their values, their boundaries, and to, yeah, unfortunately, yes, we do have to teach our daughters these days to be self-sufficient. They do have to be, um, quote unquote, independent. They do have to make their own money, because there is absolutely no guarantee that they are going to be able to find a proper provider and protector. It's just not. So, and I feel the same way, like, about little boys. Little boys need to learn how to take care of themselves. They need to learn how to be self-sufficient. They need to learn how to cook. They need to learn how to clean. They need to know how to wash their own clothes. You know, It- because I mean, there's just no guarantee, and you don't ever want your son to be going out there, leaving your home, looking for another mother to take care of him. That's a terrible burden to put on a woman.
Right.
So, I mean, listen, you're correct in what you're saying. I can completely understand why this space will be extremely frustrating, but your tears, is what they said. All of that. That's not about you. That's about them, and it makes them uncomfortable because they literally, truly do not know what manhood is. They really don't know what it actually looks like. They have this made up idea in their head that comes from the movies or something about what a man is, what a man does, how a man feels, how he's supposed to feel. So they're trying to fit inside this box, and they think they can't go outside of that box because that's not a man. It's ridiculous.
Now,
Every man, everybody has emotions, and good grief, if you can't have emotions for your children, I don't want to be anywhere near you. Because if you can't love your children, if you can't cry a tear for your children when something affects you, I can't trust that you can love me properly. I can't trust that. I don't even want you around our children. Don't just bye. Just go on over there. Go on down the street.
Why do you think the message is is pushed out there about, you know, about that a man or young men should not show any emotion or any type of empathy openly or affectionately? Why is that said that that makes them look soft or weak?
Because like I was saying, their idea of manhood is not true manhood. You know, and there's a level of insecurity in manhood. So they're not secure in their manhood. So showing emotions to them is like, oh God, that's not what I'm supposed to do, you know, because that's that's womanly. That's, you know, it's just because first their idea about manhood in totality is off. And they haven't had, unfortunately, they have not had a good model of manhood because the culture that we're living in, you know, and it's really not just us, it's just the culture period, society period, how sex is viewed, how you know, you're not supposed to bring emotions in it. If you care for someone, if you love someone, then you know you're weak. It's just, it's absolutely completely and totally backwards.
I will,
um
but
so yeah.
so the narrative that's put out there a lot, and the narrative that's always put out there of, I was told that from the, and this is hypothetical, and I don't believe it, that
Hmm.
women don't like a man who shows emotion. That makes him look soft. That makes him look weak. Do you
Hmm.
believe that's something that we need to stop that narrative, or that or you know, or is it true? I don't
I
believe.
think,
What's your thought about that?
well, I think as a woman, I don't think that we want our men crying as much as we do.
Right, right,
I
right.
don't think that we want, yeah, we don't want him to just fall apart, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and just be every little thing he doesn't can't handle, and he's gonna, you know, he's just gonna be curled up in a ball somewhere because that's part of the protection part, right? We need to feel safe and secure, and if we feel that he has the same kind of emotions as we do, like we're both sitting in the corner rocking back and forth crying, looking to each other, what are we going to do? I think that women don't want that. However, to say that men should never cry or they should never have an emotion about anything is, I think it's stifling, and I think it's bad. It's not good for men. See, little boys get these messages. You know, they get these messages as children. Men get these messages growing up, and they do get these messages not only from other men, but they also do get them from other women. And I think it's just because of this whole, you know, notion of boys and men being strong and hard and tough all the time as if they're robots. And then that's when you get into that thing called, that people have coined, toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? Because if you don't allow any balance, then people are going to go from one extreme all the way to the other. So I think that, to your question, I don't like extremes on either side.
Right, right. No, I can understand that. What you're saying, like, you know, I do have an understanding. Listen, get a
Hmm.
grip of your emotions. have a control. But I also believe there's
Yeah,
time and place for everything. You
there
know,
is.
and sometimes you know I understand. Listen, one of my biggest issues that I did have was I wasn't good at um, expressing myself. I still battle with that. I want you, I
Mhm.
want that to be understood. I do battle with that of properly expressing myself. However, um, I'm learning. I think that's a big issue, especially coming from broken homes or different issues of of or depression and stuff. Um,
Mhm.
listen, we got sex and alcohol and different other substances or things will not cause or will not help the issues go away. Those
Right.
I believe those issues just get passed on.
Mhm.
I truly do believe that. So I kind of hope or wish that hey, maybe we might need to start trying to find a way to more so effectively um, fix these issues rather than just beat up on the women. I mean, I'm saying this honestly, fellas. Like, I think we're having an issue with connecting to the women because a lot of us don't know how to properly express to how we feel.
Mhm.
So we just take it out and say it's her.
Mhm.
I'm not making this a men's blame game, but I just
Right.
don't. Some men know how to effectively um, actually correspond or talk to the women effectively. And I'm also including myself in this also.
Mhm.
And I know some people will say, well, that's just a black man being weak. No, this is men. This is a lot of
Yeah.
men. I'm hearing this on all sides. A lot of men are having problems and they're running to social media to learn how to try to deal with a woman rather than to say, hey, maybe we probably need a, rather than go strip clothes and strip naked and just hopefully have sex and fuck our way to
Yeah.
euphoria. Why not just have a conversation? That doesn't make us any less or suspect or anything like that. I don't believe it, do. I just think that we probably may just need to probably talk. I mean,
Mhm. I completely agree. I mean, I'm a one of my I think my gifts is being a really good communicator. And part of that is being a good listener. And, it's why I named myself verbal. But I find that men in general, not just black men, because I talked to all kinds of different men um, of different ages, what have you, and there seems to be a problem in communication, um, and also especially when men are not really sure of themselves and sharing their manhood, it can be a conversation with landmines because you might say something that triggers his insecurity or his manhood, and you're not even meaning that at all. You're just trying to have an open, honest, authentic dialogue with him, and he gets defensive, or he thinks you're trying to attack his manhood or something when that's not at all what you're trying to do. But because of his own insecurities, also not wanting to look weak in front of a woman, he thinks he has to put on this performance for you when he just absolutely does not. And a lot of times it's hard to even, when you try to express that to him, then it's like, oh, well, now you're trying to control me and change me. Like it's just sometimes an extremely difficult thing to try to communicate openly and honestly with a man. So I think that's just a problem that men have in general that they really do need to work on.
like I said, and I agree because, like I said, listen, y'all, I'm not above reproach. I'm not perfect. I have failed and fallen time and time again. That's
Mhm.
why, that's why I don't mind telling y'all these things. So that way, whoever comes after me or whoever finds the better path, then show us, tell us. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not gonna say I'm perfect. I don't believe Verbal's trying to throw out that she's perfect. We as
At
some
all.
we make our mistakes, but however, uh, one of the biggest issues that we got going on right now in society is that being able to possibly communicate effectively. And maybe I will probably set up a men's and women's panel on effective
Mhm.
communication rather than just sexual communication is
Yeah.
is a better. And you know, Verbal, I got your email, so I definitely might have to have Miss Verbal down for that one to help us dialogue on that. Like I said, I plan on doing a lot of more dope panels of why depression and abuse are growing at a high alarming rate in
Mhm.
the home. Why are children so
Yeah.
to leave the home and they'll be like, "Well, I don't get it. What happened?" Well, they've never seen affection.
Mhm.
It's a different thing. And let me tell you all a little secret. It's a different thing when your child can see can see their parent be more affectionate with somebody in the street or a stranger than them in their own home.
Mhm.
That is more fucked up and damaging than you can imagine.
Yeah, because it sends a message, a subliminal message to the child that they are not valued,
Right.
that something must be wrong with them because it's not that my parent can't show love, they just can't show love to me. Because I see them showing love to someone outside of the home. I see them showing love to a stranger, but when it comes to me, they can't they can't edify me. So it must be wrong. It must be something wrong with me. And children, the way their brains work up until a certain age is everything is about them. Children are naturally narcissistic. Everything is about them, because of them, in spite of them. Their world is very them centered. So anything that a parent does, whether it's negative in the child's eyes or positive, it's because of them. And so if parents don't understand that and they don't have open communication with their children, they don't express to their children verbally and physically that they love them and that they are important, children are not going to get the message that they are. That's why children get very have this resentment and this depression and this sadness when a parent leaves them. When a parent is not in their life, they don't understand that. That's why it doesn't matter what the hell you're going through with that other parent. Once you become a parent, you take a back seat. You have to. You take a back seat. Your feelings take a back seat to your children because they didn't ask to come here. You brought them here. You did the do. You had the fun. These are the consequences. Deal with it and deal with it properly because they're not going to think as children, oh, my parents just don't get along and why this is why my dad's not here. This is why my mom's not here. They're not going to think that. They're going to think it has to have something to do with them, especially if that parent then goes out and gets a whole new family
Right.
and takes care of those kids. Can you imagine how that would make you feel?
Oh, I know. Oh, I know. I know.
So we're damaging our children. And this is generation after generation after generation. And another problem that we're having with communication is due to the way that people are communicating now and have been for what, a decade. Text. People are trying to have full blown relationships through text. That's why I require men that I date to call me. I'm not going to have texting conversations with you. We're not going to have these drawn out conversations through text. No, you're going to be a man, an entire one. You're going to be confident. And if you want me, you're going to come get me. And that means you're going to call me. And we're going to have a conversation like adults. But these people are, you know, they're trying to get married over text. It's just, it's foreign to me.
You know, I used to have this anger and bitterment when I would watch my and I love my father, but I would always
Mm-hmm.
get angry when I would watch how he would treat the neighborhood, uh, the neighborhood kid versus me,
Mm-hmm.
and I would get very angry at that,
Mm-hmm.
almost to a point where I wanted to lash out. I was like, "Well, dang guy, like, well, just say, why don't you just say you want that to be your kid? Just say
Yeah.
you want that to be your kid. You know, I mean, you're so proud, so damn proud of that person, and
Mm-hmm.
and I mean, it was just very frustrating, you know,
Yeah.
and it was like no matter what, I always had to compete.
Mm-hmm.
I always felt like I was competing for my dad,
That's so,
and
yeah, that's,
it it's something that's very infuriating. Like, and I would also watch that, with my siblings, and
mm-hmm.
and these things are very they hurt. I will
Yeah.
see that. I will see that um with some people I know, man. Some I would watch that. It was even to the point where I started being like that with in my relationship. See, I don't mind talking about it. Even I was starting
Mm-hmm.
to get like that. Whereas to um I wasn't very emotionally inept towards my woman's feelings. Oh, I'm still fucked up. I won't lie to y'all. And it would be times where she'll be crying or feel a certain type of way, and I'll be like, I'm just gonna go. And the thing about it was, damn, like I just walked out rather than actually deal with the situation. I'd rather have walked out. See,
Did her tears make you, what was it about her tears that made you say, I'm just going to leave? What was it about it? I know a lot of men don't like women to cry. Some men feel very emotional about women crying, to where they want to make her tears stop. And then other men seem to get offended by it or just like angry by it. And I think that anger is actually hiding another emotion that they don't want to bring to the forefront. What do you think?
so, but I think, but I know we're cutting it deep. Um, it's more so in two things. One, having to face you're having to face a trauma that either you caused or that she's going through. And then sometimes it's something that you have buried subconsciously in your mind that you don't want to deal with. Because sometimes I would think back to my mom crying. I've seen plenty of women cry. Some related, some not related. And I would also think about, how I hurt her. And sometimes I would feel like, better for me to, if I did the damage, maybe I should just remove myself. If I take myself out of the house or out of the area, the vicinity, or if I lay there and close my eyes and just try to subconsciously block it out. And I know that's something that a lot of men do. Maybe if we get the last word in or scream or shout it out or fight it out with the women or just don't answer, maybe she'll just say, "Oh, you know what? Fuck it. That's just what a man does." And so for a time being, I told that to myself. That's just what a man. That's what I'm supposed to do. But it's still there. It's still the blood of pain that was been afflicted is still there.
Yeah, and as a woman, having that experience, both men being affected by my tears or my pain in a way where they wanted to nurture that or nurture me or make me feel better, and men who maybe were frustrated about. And I don't cry a lot. I am not a crier, so if I cry, it's really something that's really hurt me. And so for a man to uh, walk away from that because he doesn't know how to deal with it at that moment, or what have you, it actually causes more damage. Because if I'm crying about something that happened between us, something that I feel you did that hurt me, and I cry about it because we're having the conversation, and I start to cry because I'm trying to express to you the pain, uh, and then on top of hurting me, you walk away from my tears. That's a double. Now you've just hurt me even more. Because not only did you hurt me initially, you don't even care that you hurt me when you walk away from my tears. So it's just, these are the ways that relationships become so damaged because move, people can't step away, people get in their own way in their relationships. And we all do. Women do it, men do it. We all do this,
But
you know and these come from our own insecurities that we need to work on, that we need to understand about ourselves so that we can show up and be better partners.
so, so in asking, I'm in asking, what is it? But I know somebody's going to want to pick up on this. Somebody may need to hear this. I don't know how to properly reach you. I don't. A lot of us don't know how to properly reach you. Like, we know that there's pain there. I'm not gonna call it back. I don't want to call it back. I hate when motherfuckers say damage or baggage.
Yeah.
I hate that stupid shit. How do I reach you? But I know, like, it says that's a statement when you say, I don't normally cry or I don't, and I understand because that's something that in saying that I don't want you to see me weak. I don't want you to see me vulnerable. Like because that means I really gave a fuck, and that means that either two things happen. I could either be exploited or you can do more damage to me. And I've seen it go both ways. Where when the person starts crying or the situation starts getting up into that high pinnacle, and this is when and people like to throw out the daggers. They like to dig into the trunk and pull out the daggers of how can I hurt her or him more? What more can I do to because I'm in pain, I want you to rivet in pain. So I'm asking to you to spiritually tell me what is something that I can do to connect. Like I just need you just to close your eyes and just tell me what can I do to connect that I'm trying to figure out. But maybe I might need to hear something that I don't know. I'm still fucking up.
I think that men are innately fixers. So when a man loves a woman and she has a problem, and or she's hurt by something that he did or someone else did, men go into fixing mode. Like it's just like I think that's inherently how men's brains work. Um, so they're kind of half listening. I think they're hearing, but not really in the present moment and just being there to listen. Because most of the time, women don't. We're not looking for you to fix the thing for us. We just want to vent to you. I think that when you're in a relationship with someone, that person should be your best friend. And so, yes, I can go and vent to my girlfriends. I can talk to them, but the conversations I'm going to have with my girlfriends are going to be it's going to be a totally different dynamic than the one that I have with my man. And so, if I am talking, I just want you to listen. I just want you to listen. I want you to be fully present. Um, Hi. Hold on. My daughter's friends came in. 1 second. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Um, and it's first of all, I just want to thank you guys for coming through, liking the video, supporting the video. I didn't see it going in this direction, but the heavens have a way of responding to you, and I feel like this is a big issue of why, especially with after 2020 and going further in 2021, why it's hard for us to hold on to a relationship, a family, or just growing with somebody because you're afraid to empathetically be human and show
Mm-hmm.
affection. I remember one time. Sometimes, fellas, I get it. You're walking and you're afraid to hold your girl's hand and just walk with her in public. That
Shit.
I see that's a big thing. That some women, I bet you some when ask yourselves when the last time you held a woman's hand in public and just walked with her, not walk
And I'm
beside.
going to tell you, as a woman, that is just one of the nicest, simplest things.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, as a woman, that's one of the nicest, simplest ways to endear a woman to you. Women really like that. Women like for you to take her hand and because you're showing some type of like ownership over her, protection over her, and you're claiming you're claiming her. You're claiming that this is someone that you really, really like. Even if you're not like full blown in a relationship yet, that's a signal to a woman. And it's very, very endearing for a man to do that. I'm going to tell you straight up, that is like when you first start dating a woman and you really like her, take her hand in public. She's not going to think you're about to put a ring on it. You don't worry, you're safe. But take her hand. It shows manhood. It shows confidence, and it shows protection and provision. Like all of that in that one little act. There's so many things that tells a woman about the kind of man you are in that simple act.
I hear that a lot. Um and I worry about that. For a lot of us men about the situation of just doggone holding or showing public affection. We'll get on YouTube or social media or do TikTok videos and X, Y, and Z or listen to podcasts about what it means to be a man. But it's sometimes the simplest things where you don't have to spend no money. You don't have to need no dating coach. It's like the simplest logical things that we used to think about that we just don't do no more. I'm so
Yep.
serious. I'm so serious. Like, listen, man. I'm not saying I'm the richest man, but I am blessed to understand and acknowledge that. Hey, sometimes she just wants. She, I can't tell how I've been told. I just want your affection.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
I still to this day I'm a lug because I don't I'm afraid to show affection, but I'm learning. Because
Right.
I'm afraid to be vulnerable. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, out of my mouth, sometimes BMT is afraid to be vulnerable. But
I think we all are.
why do you think? Why do you think that? Why do you think that is?
Because everybody is putting on a facade. Um, so it's kind of like a group mentality type thing where you see, okay, these people over here are saying being vulnerable is bad. And the more people start carrying that idea, it spreads to other people. Now everybody, all of a sudden, after a while, you have everybody who is feeling like, oh no, it's bad to be vulnerable. It's bad to be vulnerable, only because they don't want other people. They think that they're going to be ridiculed by other people. But the whole secret that what people aren't acknowledging is that we all are feeling the same way. But everybody's afraid to say we're all feeling the same way. That person over there who's acting like they don't have any feelings and nothing bothers them is a liar. They're a complete and total liar. But because you're so afraid of what they're going to say and how they're going to ridicule you, then you just say, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to act like I don't have any feelings either. And all we're doing is continuing this cycle that goes round and round and round. We're not getting anywhere. And everybody's suffering in silence and suffering alone when we could actually just be honest with each other about being human, because this is all it's called. And we're all living the same experience. If we're just honest with each other and be brave enough to say, this is how I feel sometimes. I get depressed sometimes. Sometimes I feel lonely. Sometimes I feel hopeless. Sometimes I'm happy and excited. Other times I might not want to get out of bed today. Everybody feels like that. I know that everybody has felt this way before. But because so many people don't want to admit it, then that makes everybody else not want to admit it. And we're missing out on all of these connections with each other in ways that we can help each other through this human experience, because everybody's afraid to be human when everybody actually is human. Does that make sense? Or did I just
No,
like
no,
ramble?
no. You make a lot of sense. Like, I am very attuned to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I want people to understand it. That's why I said, like, I don't things just some things don't happen just by chance. And again, like, uh, again, I'm glad that we have your opinion, not your opinion, your expertise in speaking on this. I mean, everybody always likes to think, and even like you have it where Kay's down there, Patriot United said, my ex never wanted to hold my hand. Like, how much hurt that do y'all think that does to a woman?
Yeah, and that's her ex, and that's one of the main things that she remembers about it, because it is a rejection. It feels terrible. I've had that happen to me. It feels terrible when that happens. You're like, wait a minute. So we can do all of this stuff that we do. We can have all this adult fun. We can be all, so intimate. But you can't take my hand. It makes you question yourself. Like, okay, well, how does he actually really feel about me? It's a very bad feeling. It really is. Because it's
It,
a simple thing and he can't even do that. Like, I mean, if you can't do the small thing, I can't believe you're going to do the big thing. It's almost like if you won't take my hand in public, would you even protect me in public? That's how far down the rabbit hole it can go for a woman for that simple act.
No, and see the thing about it when it comes to these things, like you don't have to be a rich man, you don't have to be that kind of guy. Whatever these narratives that are put up, listen, man, I'm trying to tell y'all, uh, sometimes it just means talking, expressing. I think that's probably why I it says a lot about the state of what's going on right now. When you hear a lot of people talking about, well, you know, I don't talk to my woman, or I don't do that. You got to ask yourself a question: what happened in that person's life that damaged them that much? What happened in their life that really threw them off? That's how you know,
Yeah,
innately, because I'm sorry, y'all. Like sometimes, sometimes, listen, man, not being able to have those type of dialogue or discussions, it does a lot. It does a lot of damage. You know.
yeah, it really does. And back to what I was saying. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go because I have to take these girls somewhere. But
Okay.
you know, that's the thing about reaching a woman in communication is just that I think that a woman, if we need you to fix something, we need your actual advice about something. I think we're going to say that. We're going to say, hey, what do I do about this? How do I, uh, navigate this? Or can you fix this thing for me? Can you talk to this person for me? We will say that, especially if we've already built up a level of trust for you. But most of the time, women, we just want to tell you how we feel. That's all, and we just want to know that you hear us. And you can. It goes a long way to just listen. Like I was saying, be present, not thinking about what you're gonna say when she finally stops talking, or how you're gonna tell her what she did wrong or what she should have done. That's very annoying and frustrating. Um, we don't and patronizing, and that's not what we're just sharing, and yeah, we might be upset, but we just want you to listen, and you know just give us a hug and a kiss on the cheek or the forehead, or and just say, well, I love you, and also agree with us. If we're mad at somebody, you need to be mad at them too.
You know.
Be on our side.
Like I
Do you have
said,
the key?
we're gonna definitely have to definitely have some conversations. I sat down with Trailer, and I agree. I agree with you, Trailer. A lot of times, all a woman wants is a candy bar, and for you to let them snuggle up next to you on the couch while you watch a movie. It's
Yep.
simple. It's simple gestures. I've had times where I've literally, uh, I never knew how bad I was not connecting to my. I remember when I came back, and I like I said, y'all don't know. For me, talking about this is very close to home. So me, telling my kids before, I love you. My kids used to not say it back, and I used to wonder why. And that was because I used to never tell my kids I loved them. So
Mhm.
because of that, imagine if I kept on going down that path, and then my kids got older. I can only imagine how my sons will be towards a woman. I can only imagine
Yeah.
how my daughters would react to a man who may be a good man and say and try to show them love and affection, but them not used to being having that type of love and affection from their father, how that would impact upon them. But there's a lot of people who don't actually know what love is or what emotions are because they've never seen a spectrum of feelings. So, I'm thankful that Verbal she shows her daughters love and affection. In the
I
same
do.
in the
Too much. Gets on their nerves.
there is never such a thing as too much because better for it to come from someone like you who's in the home with them that tells them you are beautiful, you're awesome. That better for that to come from them than it come from the world to somebody who can contort and extort and use them. This happens a
Yeah.
lot. Not saying that not saying that there aren't women or men who don't get that in the home, but this is why I say, listen, y'all, there's a lot of stuff going on where people are getting used and exploited. So, I'm definitely gonna be like I said, Verbal. We got some stuff down the pipe that me and you're gonna knock out. I can tell you right now. Shout out to Kay. I know she put some stuff out there for y'all women to join and come through. Check out my girl Kay. Please go to her channel. Shout out to Trailer from last night. They ran an amazing panel. It was really good. Last night, shout out to Maurice Delk. Shout out to Misunderstood. Um, Miss Patriot United said, I worked hard at being a wife and mother 10 years. I did everything according to the Bible. It destroyed me. And I'm telling y'all right now, man. I'm telling you right now, there are some women, they go hard to
Mhm.
to show that type of love and affection, and they run into the wrong type of man, and they get
Yeah.
destroyed. And they can
Yep.
either A, be on a war path against other men and also their children, or B, they just never love again. They just never love.
Yeah.
That's happening more than it should. Same thing for the men.
Yeah.
So
Mhm. Well, I think I'm just going to say this last thing, and then I got to run, unfortunately, because this is an amazing. I love conversations like this. Uh, these are the conversations that we need to really be having. You know what I mean? But you know, a girl's first love is her father. That's the first man she experienced what love is like, or edification is. And a boy's first love of a woman is his mother. And when we as parents don't understand that fully and take that seriously, then we can really damage our children's view of the opposite sex. Um, so you have men who weren't properly loved and nurtured and disciplined by their mothers. And then that sows a seed of distrust in women. And if they don't get any type of therapy, psychological help for that, um, and do any type of self actualization, realization, awareness, all of that, they are going to take that distrust that really stems from the distrust of their first love of their mother, and they're going to now not trust any woman because, see, if my mama couldn't love me, if my mother rejected me, and that's a person, that love is supposed to be automatic, then I can't believe that you love me. I can't
right.
believe you love me. And it's the same thing that happens with the girls. If their daddy abandoned them, lied to them, molested them, how where does the trust? How are they going to have trust in that another man is going to love them? Now, there are a lot of people who can overcome that childhood situation. And let's be clear, we all have had dysfunction in our childhood. But then there are a lot of people who cannot. And so they just carry that dysfunction on to others, and they're hurting people. And, it's just hurting people and hurting people and hurting people because they have been severely hurt. So I don't know,
no,
I have a there.
we know it's just the thing about it, verbal. It's just that now me and you done joined together on this type of path. We know it's just that it's just us tackling it together and talking about these type
Mm-hmm.
of things. Who knows who we're gonna reach out to next, but we know what we have to do. So we know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so this was a great conversation. Yeah, and like I said, these are the kinds of conversations I want to have on my channel. It's not really a big channel. I mean, I don't even have 200 subscribers. I don't go live often. Um, but I think who wants to hear about this deep stuff? You know, people don't want to hear about this deep stuff. They want to hear fuckery all the time. They want you to put people's names in, names in your titles. They just want to hear a bunch of foolishness all the time. We're not growing like this. I mean, I enjoy the effery. This is next person wants our product and move us forward as people and as a community. Like, where's that part? So anyway, but I gotta go. Thank you so much for allowing me to get to grace.
Thank you, Verbal, and definitely we will definitely help you build. Um, yes, yes you can, yes you can, Kay. Um, yes you can. You definitely have the right to do that. Um, and if you want to commentate over it, Kay, go ahead. That's fine. Like I said, I will be having a meeting to have people come out to be setting up a BMT conglomerate um, network to where again it's going to be something where I'm not going to always be sitting at the head. It might be a day where I say, hey Kay, why don't you just drive? I'll step down and let you and the ladies just talk. And if she wants to repost that on her channel, she can go ahead and do that. That's her opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that might be what it's time for my channel to start doing. Or maybe it might be something where Kay might come through and Kay might have the conversation to where Kay talks and she runs it. Trailer's doing that. Where Trailer's having the conversation that he wants. So I'm slowly
Mm-hmm.
understanding what I may need to do with my channel further on to help people and actually help people grow. You know, so I'll be seeing you guys later. This is BMT along with I am Verbal. Peace.
Peace.